Mike, just a couple housekeeping. First, who's in net tonight?
Tristan.
And Jeff Carter, Chris Letang, is there any status for updates with them as it pertains to tonight's game?
So Carts will not play tonight. Tanger will be a game time decision.
You mentioned about bringing up Drew O'Connor and needing someone there for face-off, specifically with penalty kill. Last year, Brian Boyle kind of said something I thought was pretty interesting, where he said maybe the first year or two for a lot of centermen, it takes some time to figure out the kind of tricks of the trade. Then after that, you may pick it up. As a guy who took some face-offs yourself, is that your observation, or just the coach, is that your observation? It maybe takes a year or two for centermen to kind of figure out certain linesmen or certain opponents, etc. in the face-off circle.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a learning curve there without a doubt, and there's so many nuances and subtleties to taking face-offs. Part of it is knowing your opponents. Part of it is figuring out what you are particularly good at, and there's different strategies to win draws depending on whether you're on your forehand or on your backhand. If you're going against a lefty, you're going against a righty. There's a lot involved, but the point is there's a lot of subtleties, there's a lot of nuances, and I think that takes time and experience for players to go through that process before they figure those types of things out. So I would agree with Brian.
Mike, Boston is obviously off to a good start so far. Just what have you seen from them? And also early on this season, is it a good barometer for you guys after the road trip to kind of see where you are on the first day of November?
Well, they're playing extremely well right now. You know, when I look at their team, they're always a team, in my mind, that plays the game with a lot of structure, and they don't beat themselves. And right now they're scoring goals. Their special teams have been good on both sides, and they're getting saves. And that's a pretty good recipe for success. And so we know it's going to be a tough challenge tonight. We're going to have to make sure we bring our very best game. As far as the barometer is concerned, you know, I'm not really interested in those types of conversations at this point. We're trying to get better as a hockey team every day, and we're trying to look at the experiences we go through, figure out what we can learn from, what can we take away from them, so that we can apply those lessons to the team moving forward in the event that, you know, in hopes that we become a better hockey team, a wiser hockey team. And really that's the process that we're going through. We're trying to stay in the moment. You know, we're certainly going to learn through our experiences, but we're not going to dwell on them. And we're going to be a forward-thinking group that is really focused on the challenge ahead of us, and right now that's the game tonight.
Mike, just a general question about the game. Aside from one-timers, why do you think players have gone mostly in general to wrist shots and snapshots over slap shots? We just don't see guys just really ripping back those slap shots as we used to see in years past.
I'm not sure I have the answer for that. I think, you know, number one, I'd have to see the stats to know if that is actually the case, if there's less slap shots being taken in the game today. I do think that part of the evolution of the game is just pressure on the puck, and I think most teams are playing some sort of a pressure format or a pressure system, whatever you want to call it, and usually that's going to limit time and space of the puck carrier. So in a lot of instances, there might not be an opportunity to take the time for a big wind-up and a bomb from the blue line, for example. A lot of times, the other aspect of it is the way teams defend. There's layers of defense, there's layers of shot blocks, and sometimes the best play is just a quick release that allows you to get the puck down to the net before those layers actually get into place to block shots and make it a whole lot more difficult to get it to the net. And so that's probably my best guess at some of the reasons why you're seeing the wrist shots from the blue line or from the perimeter of the ring.
Hey, Coach. So much experience in that locker room there, and then you have guys like Drew coming in, you know, fresh this weekend. How do you kind of balance, and how do you kind of let the vets take over here in this type of situation, coming off of a 4-game skid, that, you know, to push through this type of challenge and see the light?
Well, we really trust our leadership group. I think these guys are pretty proven. You know, they've proven that you know, that they know what it takes to win in this league and have success. And every team is going to go through their bits of adversities throughout the course of the season. We've hit one right now, And the most important thing is that we react the right way. We can't change what we just went through over the past 10 days. All we can do is focus on what's in front of us and how we're going to react and make sure that we put our best game on the ice. And I think that starts with a certain attitude that's conducive to winning. And our leadership group in our locker room knows best in that regard. So I just have the ultimate faith and trust in our group, and I know these guys have what it takes. They understand what it takes to win, and they also understand how to react in these situations. As far as the younger players that we have, I always think there's a healthy combination of youth and energy and enthusiasm with a certain experience, veteran presence that is the best formula for success. I think both different aspects of those players combine to inspire each other to be at their very best. So I think the young guys that come into our locker room inspire our older guys. I think our younger guys look up to our older guys for what they've accomplished, and the same can be said. I think our older guys inspire our younger guys, and so that's a pretty good formula that, in my mind, certainly in my experience of coaching in this league, and we like to see some of our young guys bring some enthusiasm and some energy to our locker room, and that's what we would expect a guy like Drew tonight.
Last one, Seth.
Mike, without Jeff, I don't believe you have any right-handed draws in the lineup potentially tonight. If that's the case, just what kind of challenge is that for a coach in terms of who to send out there for the face-off, if any at all?
Well, it's always a challenge, and we're going to play one of the best face-off teams in the league. I believe they're second in the league right now in the face-off circles, and Bergeron in particular is one of the very best, and that's going to be a challenge in and of itself. And our guys have to be up to the task. We don't have a right-handed shot in the face-off circle tonight, and the lefties that we do have are going to have to get it done. And a lot of times it's not just the center icemen that are part of the face-off. The face-off skill, so to speak, it's a collective effort. Once again, in my experience, there's a lot of face-offs that are won in and around the face-off dot, and it takes the guys on the flanks, whether it be the wings or the defensemen that are on the line of scrimmage, so to speak, that have to win those loose puck battles. So it's not just on the center iceman; it's on the group of players that are out there together that are going to work together to win those pucks.